National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Bringing you the news from Sri Lanka and across the world, it's your national news broadcast on Talanga Maaya Rupavahini Corporation. I'm Siobhan Pereira.
And I'm Kasini Balachandra Adhikari. Here are your top stories for tonight.
$100-megawatt solar power project begins. Power purchasing agreement reached. President to deliver the keynote address of the 7th Indian Ocean Conference. Elderly, disabled and kidney disease allowances increased. 18 persons committed sexual harassment on children and women arrested. Content of the largest stone inscription in Sri Lanka officially declared. Pakistan general election concludes amid mobile services and internet ban.
Now in local news, the Electricity Board reached a solar power purchasing agreement with the Rividanavi company today.
Under the project in Siambalandua, the national grid is expected to receive a supply of 100 megawatts. The relevant agreement was signed this morning at the Ministry of Power and Energy. The project investment is at around $132 million. This is the first ever large-scale solar power project commenced in Sri Lanka. The plant will be established in a 220-hectare land in Siambalandua division and will be connected to the national grid by mid-next year. Minister Kanchana Wijesekara said that this project will be considered as a renewable energy project which was entered into an agreement under the competitive pricing methodology. He said that the company has requested permission to construct the transmission system required for the project under their own investment. Accordingly, he said that this project will contribute to the objective of the Electricity Board to convert 90% of the overall power supply to renewable energy as one of the pioneer projects. He added that the process to attract many other renewable energy projects suitable for the country will be expedited.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe left the island this morning to attend the 7th Indian Ocean Conference. The President will attend the conference on an invitation from the India Foundation and the Government of Australia. The 7th Indian Ocean Conference will be held tomorrow and the day after in Perth, Australia. The event, themed towards a stable and sustainable Indian Ocean, aims to foster cooperation among 40 participating nations. President Wickremesinghe's participation reflects Sri Lanka's proactive stance towards regional stability and development. President Wickremesinghe will play a pivotal role in shaping discussions at the conference, slated as a vital forum for dialogue and cooperation within the Indian Ocean region. He is also scheduled to deliver the keynote address of the conference, underscoring Sri Lanka's commitment to regional collaboration. Accompanying the President is Foreign Minister Ali Sabri, who will address the plenary session titled Our Blue Future: How can the Indian Ocean region work with island states to safeguard the health of our shared ocean resources? Minister Sabri's participation highlights Sri Lanka's focus on safeguarding shared ocean resources. Organized by the India Foundation in collaboration with India's Ministry of External Affairs and the Australian government, along with support from the S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies, Singapore, the Perth US Asia Centre, the conference seeks to chart a roadmap for the region's future. It is noteworthy that Sri Lanka previously hosted the 2nd edition of the Indian Ocean Conference in 2017 under the leadership of then Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, who is now serving as the President.
State Minister Shahan Singha says that the allowance for disabled individuals, kidney patients and elderly citizens will be increased effectively from January. Under the revised scheme, monthly allowances for kidney patients and disabled persons will be increased from 5,000 to 7,500 rupees, while elderly citizens' allowances will increase from 2,000 to 3,000 rupees. Beneficiaries enrolled in the Asfasuma welfare program and eligible for these allowances will be identified within the first quarter of this year. Furthermore, the State Minister said that the government has extended the validity period for the vulnerable and transitional social groups until December 31st. The vulnerable families are receiving a monthly allowance of 5,000 rupees at present, and 2,500 rupees are being provided for the transitional group. As part of this extension, the existing categories will be merged, consolidating approximately 800,000 families under the vulnerable classification as per the State Minister.
Now, the two-day debate on the government policy statement presented by President Ranil Wickremesinghe in Parliament yesterday is currently underway. Meanwhile, Jagat Priyankara was sworn in as a member of the 9th Parliament before the Speaker, Mahinda Yapa Bewardena, today. MP Jagat Priyankara has been appointed to the vacancy created due to the demise of late Sanath Nishantha, who served as a Member of Parliament representing Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna in the Puttlam district. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa said that many sections which are not in line with the Supreme Court determination pertaining to the online safety bill have been added to the legal draft. He urged to convene a meeting under the chairmanship of the Speaker to highlight and pinpoint the shortcomings in the legal draft. He said that the Supreme Court determination has not been implemented. Minister Vijay Das Rajapaksa said that the amendments cannot be brought outside the subject area following a Supreme Court determination. Accordingly, after passing the Act with necessary amendments in the Parliament, he said that the Supreme Court has no authority to inquire into the Act. Therefore, he pointed out the futility in convening party leaders' meetings as no amendments can be brought forward at present. However, he said that if amendments are required, then the government will be open to discuss in this regard.
Hikkadwa police was able to find Dr. Janaka Rajapaksha attached to the Badulla General Hospital while being abducted and detained in a house last evening. The police has said that the suspect has been identified as a private class tutor. The suspect named Namal Amila had abducted Dr. Janaka Rajapaksha near Malapur Junction in Dodangadu, Kalutara after returning from Badulla General Hospital. The suspect had allegedly taken the doctor and detained in a house in Hikkadwa. The suspect had allegedly threatened and demanded 4 million rupees from the doctor. Reports have indicated that the police have been able to rescue the doctor after confirming all relevant evidence pertaining to the abduction. The arrested suspect has been identified as a private class tutor. The doctor has been taken to his house in Badulla under police protection following the rescue.
Another 728 suspects connected to illegal narcotics and other crimes have been taken into custody under the Yuktiya operation. 14 suspects among these arrested feature in the Police Anti-Narcotics Bureau and Special Bureau wanted lists. Meanwhile, 24 suspects, including 18 persons, have been allegedly harassed women and children sexually in public transport services have been taken into custody so far. 42 suspects have been taken into custody from these operations. A person has been arrested along with mobile phones and watches trafficked into the country illegally during a raid conducted in Kolonnava area. The arrest was made by the Special Task Force based on a tip-off received by Gonehena camp officers. The suspect has been handed over to the Customs Clearance Officer at the Colombo port for further investigations. A gang of 8 suspects has been handed over to the police, attempting to abduct a luxury vehicle. The gang was apprehended by the residents of the area. 5 suspects connected to the 4.75 million rupee theft in Monoragala town has been taken into custody. The arrests were made by the Monoragala police. The suspects have been identified as residents in Monoragala and Tissa Maharama areas. Minister Bandula Gunawardena says that the construction of the bridge in Angam Navala area, which was abruptly suspended, will be completed within 6 months period.
He made these remarks following an observational tour at the construction site today. The Angam Bridge will be built across Navala Rajagiriya Canal connecting Navala Rajagiriya and Pitakote Road in Battaramulla. A sum of 900 million rupees has been allocated to complete the project from this year's budget. Accordingly, Minister Bandru Gunawardena engaged in an observational tour to examine the commencement of the final stage constructions of the bridge. State Development and Construction Corporation is in charge of the construction. Minister Bandru Gunawardena said that the government has to pay the public sector salaries, pensions and extend reliefs including the Samruddhi allowance as well as commence all suspended constructions and other projects. He also said that the funds should be utilized to maintain services including health. The minister said that international debt repayment methodology should be announced to make these payments and reach out to international agencies for further funds. He added that the government led by the President, the Central Bank and other foreign experts have been able to resolve the persisting issue and reach agreements to proceed with the debt repayments.
Now, according to the largest stone inscription found in Sri Lanka, the Dimbulagala region was a densely populated area in the trade center even before the 2nd century before Christ. The content of the Dimbulagala stone inscription was declared officially at the Government Information Department today. The stone inscription was discovered in a forestry area near the Dimbulagara Aranya Senasane in last July. It was discovered by the villagers in the region. The inscription is about 40 feet long and 18 feet high, making it the largest inscription ever to be found in Sri Lanka. Accordingly, the Archaeological Department appointed a 9-member expert committee to conduct tests on the inscription. Professor Karunasena Hettiarachchi and Dr. Malini Dias co-chaired the committee. The official declaring of the content of the inscription was held today with the participation of Minister Vidura Vikramanayaka. The experts have indicated that only 40% of the inscription is in a readable state and the rest has been eroded and destroyed.
Has organised a series of district-level meetings under the title Sat Janarela. The meeting series was commenced from the Polonnaruwa district. The meeting was organised by party district leader State Minister Siripala Gamlat. Many parliamentarians and public representatives were present on this occasion. General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Sagara Kariyavasam said that the party activists were able to bestow massive power to the party within a short span. He said that this party, despite being a fresh party, was able to win 230 local government institutions, elect a president with 6.9 million votes and parliamentary authority with 2/3 majority. He said that despite the shortcomings, party members have been able to fulfill their duties to the party. However, he said that some leaders in the party were unable to amplify the power bestowed upon them by the party activists.
Now we have a few more local news items in brief. Cabinet approval has been granted to make the 2,000 rupee collective allowance for the answer script evaluators of the GCE Advanced Level Examination 2023. Also, the revised allowance extended for the evaluators of the 2022 GCE Advanced Level Examination will also be extended for the 2023 GCE Advanced Level Examination evaluation activities.
State Minister Chamara Sampath Dissanayake announced plans to unlock significant economic potential from the 5,000 acres of land owned by Sri Lanka Cement Corporation. The announcement was made during a press briefing titled Collective Path to a Stable Country, held at the President's Media Centre yesterday. State Minister Chamara Sampath Dissanayake acknowledged the challenges inherited upon taking office, including struggling institutions within his ministry. He emphasized the success in revitalizing the Gem and Jewellery Authority, showcasing a significant increase in annual revenue from 280 million to 480 million US dollars. He further commended the revival of the Chennai paper factory, highlighting its current ability to sustain operations and employ salaries despite not yet achieving profitability. He said that while the phosphate company possesses valuable mineral resources estimated at to 24 million rupees, legal challenges from NGOs currently prevent from profiting from them. Despite this hurdle, he said that they successfully generated income through phosphate sales, enabling us to cover all loans, fulfill salary payments and contribute 350 million rupees to the treasury. The state minister said that they generate a profit from salt mines in Elephant Pass and Mana, further contributing 100 million rupees to the treasury. He added that the mineral resources is on the verge of being restructured. With arrangements in place to develop it, the corporation is expected to generate revenue of around $300 million annually, making a significant contribution to the nation's economy.
Now 35 houses in Vishakamawatha village, Bandaravira, are at the risk of sinking. Reports have indicated that the residents of the area have been inflicted with fear over the possible disaster. Even though they have been informed to vacate their houses, the residents have claimed that they have no other place to seek refuge. Officers attached to the Bandaravira Municipal Council and Divisional Secretariat have inspected the houses and instructed the residents to vacate immediately. However, the residents have said that they are unable to afford the heavy losses which may incur from the potential collapsing of their houses. Accordingly, they have requested the authorities to provide a solution after inquiring into this issue. Wall cracks on these houses have been reported from the year 2014, and some houses are on the verge of collapse with extended cracks.
Farmers in Debulan area claim that their maize cultivation have been destroyed. The spread of a fungus within the cultivations has caused this incident. 150 farmers belonging to the Mahavali B zone cultivated maize in 180 acres of land for this Maha season. The farmers have claimed that the maize harvest declined following the heavy showers occurred in the area in recent times. With the rain, the farmers have said that the harvest could not be reaped due to the shrinking of the cob and the spread of the fungus. They have said that the harvest cannot be provided for animal feed due to the fungus.
Now in more local news, veteran cartoonist and poet Talanga Maaya Singha bid adieu to the nation today. The final rites will be held at the Borella Cemetery tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Born on July 5, 1936 in Talanga, late Talanga Maaya Singha showed exemplary talents in poetry and art since his schooling days. He joined the Lake House as a cartoonist in the year 1950. Late Talanga Maaya Singha became popular among the masses for his illustrations in Vilambita, Manaskata and Ministadema cartoon series. He has illustrated over 70 cartoon stories in his life from the Lake House in 1998. The remains of the late Talanga Maaya Singha will be kept at the Borella Jayaratna Pala from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. and the final rites will be conducted at 11:30 a.m. at the Borella Cemetery. And we will be back with some foreign stories right after this break. Stay tuned.
Hot and spicy.
Welcome back and taking a look at your foreign news tonight. Polls have closed in Pakistan after the authorities suspended mobile calls and data while millions voted for a new government in a controversial election.
Pakistan is counting votes in a general election marred by violence by armed groups and a suspension of mobile phone services. At least 9 people, including 2 children and 6 security officials, have been killed nationwide during the vote. TV channels are expected to make predictions of the initial results after voting closed at 5 p.m. local time. A clear picture is likely to emerge early as Friday as counting continues through the night. Many analysts say there may not be a clear winner. The election comes almost 2 years after the previous Prime Minister, cricketer-turned-politician Imran Khan, was ousted in a no-confidence motion. Khan, jailed on corruption charges last year, is barred from standing, and his party called the internet cut a cowardly act. The suspension of mobile services made it harder for voters to find their polling stations. Both calls and data services were suspended just 10 minutes before voting started, although Wi-Fi networks still appeared to be working.
A senior commander of an Iran-backed militia has been killed in a US drone strike in Baghdad. A leader of Kataib Hezbollah and 2 of his guards were in a vehicle when it was targeted in the east of the Iraqi capital. All 3 of them died. The Pentagon said the commander was responsible for directing attacks on American forces in the region. The US has linked the militia to a drone attack in Jordan that killed 3 US troops last month. In the wake of that attack, Kataib Hezbollah said it was suspending attacks on American troops to prevent embarrassment to the Iraqi government. Yesterday night's drone raid happened in Baghdad's Mashtal neighborhood, sparking several loud explosions. It was a precise strike on a moving vehicle in a busy street, and the car was reduced to a fiery wreck. One of the victims has been identified as Abu Bakr al-Sadi, a senior commander in Kataib Hezbollah.
Snowstorms and freezing rain have disrupted transportation for the Lunar New Year holiday. Hundreds of flights and train services have been cancelled, while motorists have been stranded on frozen highways for days. The holiday set off the largest annual human migration as millions in China travel to their hometowns. Travel has also picked up after COVID-19 curbs were lifted over a year ago. Authorities expect 480 million trips to be made for the Lunar New Year, also known as the Spring Festival. The volume is 40% higher compared to the previous year. China's meteorological service has warned of the worst winter weather since 2008. The country's central region, including provinces like Hebei, Hubei and Anhui, also borne the brunt of the freezing conditions.
The British media reported that a former Royal Air Force's pilot has taken to the skies in a Spitfire at 122 years of age. Jack Hemmings, an ex-squadron leader with Britain's Air Force, is believed to be the oldest pilot to fly the World War II plane. His 20-minute flight from an airfield in southern England on last Monday was to raise money for a charity he co-founded nearly 8 years ago. Hemmings was raising funds for Mission Aviation Fellowship, a humanitarian air service he helped launch after World War II alongside D-Day veteran Stuart King. The organization has since grown into a Christian organization that uses planes to deliver relief, medicine and emergency cargo to countries in need.
Happy Valentine's Day. Prima Kotumi. Stay safe and share the hot and
And in your sports news tonight, the first match of the one-day international series between Sri Lanka and Afghanistan will begin tomorrow.
Now the match will be played at the Pallekele International Cricket Stadium. Sri Lanka Cricket announced the Sri Lanka squad taking part in the 3-match ODI series. Kusal Mendis will captain the side, while Charita Salanka has been named as the vice-captain. Pathum Nissanka, Avishka Fernando, Sadira Samaravikrama, Janit Lianage, Vanidu Hasaranga, Mahesh Tikshana, Dushmanta Chamira, Tilshan Madhushankar, Pramod Madhushan, Sahan Narachige, Akila Dhananjaya, Dunit Vellallage, Chamika Karunaratna and Siobhan Daniel are the rest of the players named in the Sri Lanka squad. The trophy launching ceremony was held at the participation of the captains of both sides at the Pallekele Stadium. Players of both Sri Lanka and Afghanistan took part in their final practice session today. Tomorrow's match is the 13th ODI encounter between Sri Lanka and Afghanistan. So far, Sri Lanka has won 7 matches, while Afghanistan have clinched 4 victories.
Happy Valentine's Day. Prima Kotumi. Stay safe and share the hot and spicy love.
And that was a look at your national news broadcast here at Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I am Siobhan Pereira, together with Kasumi Balachandra Adhikari, signing out, wishing you a pleasant evening.
Good night.